Natasha. This is my partner, Joseph.
Hello.
And this is part of the Marathon Prep series. You are in the middle of the ocean with us, which is quite exciting unless we sink. Though I will likely survive because I will float in, well,
I won't.
Joey won't.
So I'll just sit.
But that's probably better anyways because I told him he's allowed to... No, I told you you're allowed to die first, so you don't have to deal with my death, remember? Oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's like, no, you die please, thank you.
That's how it was meant to be phrased.
Okay, anyways, phrasing. If you're not into marathon prep, it's totally fine because we like to just like hang out, so just come hang out with us anyways. It's gonna be 10 minutes. All right, so a brief catch up if you've never been here before. I am on week 3 of my marathon prep, and Joey is just beginning his marathon prep as well. We are aiming to do the BMO marathon in May. I believe it's May 4th or May 5th. Whatever the Sunday is, I'm not going to check, but you can. I'll put it somewhere, I don't know. If you are also running the BMO marathon, please let us know. It would be epic to run this with people. We don't know anybody who's running it yet, so if that's you. Some newness to our prep, and that's what we're going to talk about today, which is why this is a shorter one. For me specifically, I have a couple of adjustments that I've made to my plan, and Joey can talk a little bit about what he's planning to do. But first, just chatting about physio. So I've been experiencing some pain in my left glute and then some pressure in my left knee. Not uncommon for me, something that I've dealt with for a very long time. And so I've been very proactive with my training, but we're just starting to do a few more things throughout time that just, I don't know if they actually work or if they're placebo, doesn't matter. So I'll put a little video clip here, blocking Joseph's face for a minute, that will show you some of the physio moves that we are doing. He is supporting me in those moves, and then I'm also doing some solo work as well at the gym on a BOSU, so the half BOSU balls. I do single leg stabilization exercises, so I'll have one leg on the actual BOSU, one leg in front of me to like really work my stabilizer muscles, and I'm doing a few more exercises that I'm just ironing out right now to try and see if they can help to build my strength in my hip flexors and some of my other weak areas in my body, and then of course single side work to like build confidence on my right side. So physio work has been added in officially in week 3. Let's go. We only have, I don't even remember how many more weeks to go. 11 more weeks to go, maybe 10. So that's great. At least we're starting hot. I'm going to let Joseph talk now. So Joseph, why don't you share your approach so far, which I think a lot of people can actually probably relate to, and then what your kind of idea or goals are moving forward.
Sure. My approach so far is, one, I'm trying to do this as a person who does not like running, which means I'm trying to run as little as possible, but still feel like I'm working towards a goal that I can accomplish with relative efficacy and ability. So I do want to work up toward a sizable a good sizable running like gait, as well as be able to run the distance within a good time period.
Can I just pause for a second? So you're running a marathon and you hate running?
Yes. I just know it's good for me. It's like one of those things where like you do it in spite of the fact that you just don't like. If I'm putting like 7 hours a week towards something that's good for me and makes me feel good, it's not running. I'm only doing it now because I've agreed to do a marathon, because I do like to do novel things in my life. Yeah, and a marathon is something quite novel, and it will be cool to run a marathon, I think, or at least for the experience. So my main goal is to at least just do one big run a week, and then I do think I'm going to have to supplement that with one sort of small to medium run per week as well, so 2 runs per week, with the goal. It's a bit of a toss-up. I don't really have any specific training program right now, so it's a bit of a toss-up between either adding about 15 to 20 minutes per week onto that long run, or adding about 2 kilometers per week onto that long run. So far, I have not hit the targets I need to be hitting this far out. I think I need to be a bit. I think I ran 10 kilometers on my long runs both this week and last week, and this week should have been a little bit higher, but due to time constraints, I wasn't able to follow that. So we're gonna try to do another medium run and then push the long run next week.
Nice.
But maintain a lot of the weight training that I'm doing.
Yeah, because you have weight training goals, like strength goals that you're trying to accommodate as well, like a deadlift goal, right?
Like I have a strength deadlift goal that I'm working on, and then I just like to weight train. So I'm weight training like 5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah, so Joey's approaching this a little bit differently than I am, and I thought it was a positive thing to share, to have, you know, the two different sides of things. I'm a little bit different when it comes to goals like this. I gear shift and maybe rabbit hole too much, but I like to try out as many things as possible when I'm trying something new, and I really enjoy the process. And so for me, doing all the things that I'm being recommended, or watching athletes and what they suggest, or XYZ, I love to like take that information in and like really chew on it. Like that is what makes me happy. So for me, my main goal is to run the marathon. So my strength training has taken a bit of a sidebar, though I'm still going to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, and I am still strength training. I mean, I did a strength session with Joey, which was a lower body strength session the other day, and I was lifting quite heavy for what I have been more frequently, but I still, like, if it is a detriment to my running, I will stop. Like if I feel as though I am going to injure myself, or I'm going to be too fatigued to make my mileage in a week, then I pull back, because as a hybrid, I'm trying to make this a very clear distinction in my mind that the main goal is the marathon and my secondary goal is my strength. And that means that my main goal gets 60% of me or 70% of me in a week, and my other goal gets about 30 to 40 dependent. And then I'm switching my plan just a little bit. So I'm going from 3 runs a week, which was a small run, a medium run, a long run, to a small short run, 2 medium runs, and a long run. And I hit a total of 23 miles last week, and I hit a 18.3 kilometer run on a treadmill. I did think I was going to die. I didn't, so that was cool. But I gotta say, if there were ever a moment, that would have been it. You know, if you're like, just stop working on a treadmill. If I didn't die from the output, I would have died from embarrassment. So that was cool. But yeah, to hit that distance, I've never, like, that one is an official never hit that distance running, especially on a treadmill straight. So it was a really cool moment in time for me. Yeah. But this week is a 25-mile week. I've already only hit 9 miles. I said already only. I've already hit 9 miles, and I still have whatever that differential is. 16 miles to go. I have an 11-mile run, which is my long run, and then I have another 5-mile run to go. So that'll be super exciting. I'm switching it up a little bit to break up my medium run. So I'm doing a 4-mile and 2 5-miles this week, and then an 11-mile. And that's how I'll be going. And I'm following a little bit more of a guide now, based on what's working for me, just to see if it helps with my glute and with my knee to bring those longer medium runs down a little bit and break them up between a couple of days. Groovy, groovy, groovy. And then outside of that, I'm excited to start having Joey run with me. So I don't know if anybody can agree with this, but the biggest excitement for me in the upcoming training portion of this prep is that on my long runs, I'm going to have company. So this week, I'm going to have Joey with me for the next run that I do at the gym. And we're going to run together on the treadmills. I mean, but still side by side. But yeah, there's something just really nice about having another person do it with you, especially when it's a long run. The long runs are tedious. Like, you don't talk. It's not about conversating. It's actually just about having somebody else doing it, because running for 2 hours, like, unless you can fully zone out the whole time, which I don't know anybody who can zone out the whole time, is really boring. And it's like you can put on a podcast and that's good for a bit. And then you can put on music and that's good for a bit. And then you can take them out and do nothing and that's good for a bit and you don't know. But it's like, for me anyways, at this point in my training, because I'm not a distance runner yet and I have never been a distance runner previous to this, those long runs, it's like I can go 30 minutes of a podcast and it'd be all right. I can do 30 minutes of music and it'd be all right. And I can do 30 minutes of like just nothingness and I'll be all right. And then anything outside of that, I'm like, and now what? So
I wouldn't know. I haven't been there yet.
yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's doable. It's just there's a bit of boredom that hits. At a certain point. But yeah, anyways, I'm very excited to have him to be coming on runs with me. And I find that I also feel like I run better with him there. I just have more energy. I'm just so excited when he comes on runs with me. I get this like amped up. I'm like, oh, I can go so fast, which is weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like I want to outrun him, but then I don't want to outrun him because I'm excited that he's running with me, so that I pull back, so that I'm just like dancing for him and I'll like sing my music to him, and I'm like, I get really hyper.
And meanwhile, I'm struggling in the back to
He
breathe.
hates me so much. He's like literally like, and I'm like, Dad, putting on an entire
You don't wanna
dad
see
show.
someone being cheerful when you're struggling, especially when they're supposed to be doing the same thing as you.
Yeah, I paced this a little bit too quickly on the last one, but I was just so excited again. I couldn't sort myself out.
I'm sure it'll be fine once I get my cardio.
Well, and when we do the long runs, I will not be able to go faster than him. So it'll even out. It'll be better on the long runs than it is on shorter runs. On shorter runs, I just have an unlimited amount of energy. Yeah, okay, anyways. Reeling it in, all in all, Physio's new, my program's new, Joey's starting his program, which is new, and then we're going to start running together, which is new. Nothing really new on the nutrition side of things for me specifically, outside of I have started to take an electrolyte tab with my long runs. So, 2 tabs with my long runs. I'll take one before, and then I took one after, and I felt like a whole other person. So like I am now starting to recognize. I'm now trying to not trying. I'm now trying. Oh my God. Why am I so like this? I'm now starting to recognize. I said it. I'm now starting to recognize the importance of electrolytes, especially on those long runs. I was eating, but and I had salt and like banana and whatever mixtures, but the electrolyte is a whole other level, and hydration and staying on top of it is so important when you're weight training and running like I am and like Joey is. So yeah, just staying on top of that food intake, but especially the electrolytes. Game changer. I said that this would be 10 minutes. It's a little bit over, but close enough. If there's anything that you'd like to see this week, we're headed to the island right now. So we're actually going to do one run while we're on the island, Vancouver Island. And then I'll be doing my long run the day after we get back super late at night from this place. So it's not going to be the best of times on Sunday, but I will also bring you along with that and like update you and whatnot, and let you know how I survive it, because it's not going to be fun having sat all day the day before to then not get good sleep to then go on a long run. But we're going to try. We're going to do our best. As always, we are more powerful than we know. And so if I have to cry through it, I will. That's my motivational speech. Proud of you.
You too.
Want to do an ultra with me?
No.
Want to do a 200 miler with me?
Is that 200 mile longer?
Yeah.
That makes sense. He just doesn't want a short one.
Well, I thought maybe it was called something else. So we'd do it.
You can't trick me.
What about an Ironman?
No. Definitely no swimming.
What have you learned how to swim?
No.
And on that note, I love you, and I'll see you next week.